Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Afrobizgermany. My name is Samson Onoja Itodo. Yeah, we have a very interesting and beautiful topic with us here to discuss with you, and I have Sonny with me here. You're out there, you've been watching us, and don't you think this is interesting? Our discussions here are interesting. Please, let's have feedback from you. Like this video, leave a comment, share. Help us grow, man. We need to grow. Do you hear that? Help us grow. And today we're going to be talking about what is happening to Puff Daddy right now, and you know it's been happening from one black celebrity to the other.
Yeah.
Are they just bad, or there's a system that tries to bring them down? So what do you think?
All right. So let me bring a couple of facts to the table first. I like to deal with facts first, and I'm gonna just say Puffy ain't shit. Part of me, he isn't. But I think it's deeper than just him being who he is, why he's being taken down right at this moment.
Okay.
And the reason why I'm saying that is because a lot of people are also asking why so long? Why was he able to get away with doing these things for so long? Why weren't people coming forward and saying things before? There was one main person who was his, he was one of his bodyguards. He's been talking out for like at least 15 years.
I think Puffy's bodyguard, what is the name of this guy?
I don't remember his whole name, but his first name is Gene.
Yeah, I think,
Gene, yeah. He's been talking about Puffy for a long time. Actually, if I'm correct, he actually has been talking about Puffy since Biggie died, because he was one of the bodyguards that was in the car with Biggie when Biggie was murdered. And wait, actually,
I think Jim Deal, that's his name.
Yeah. And let me strike that last statement, because I don't remember if he was in the car or if he was in the car with Puffy. But
I think it was he's somewhere around here.
Yeah, he was there, but he's been talking about it since like around that time. So when it comes to Puffy, people have been saying things. I know people personally. You know, I'm from Brooklyn, and I know people that are in the industry, and people was always talking about Puff. But my main focus is on why. And it's like, for them to start taking him down now, like for instance, I don't really believe the Cassie case. I'm just speaking my opinion on that. I don't believe the case with Cassie. I don't know too much about this other case, but what they do, and this has been historically proven, what they do is they tend to target black men at specific times, and they throw it out into the public. They did it with, even back in the day, with Jack Johnson with the Mann Act, if y'all know about who Jack Johnson is. I'm not going to go into all of the details. Just Google Jack Johnson, man.
The boxer.
Yeah. And the
first heavyweight, first black heavyweight.
There's a lot of RICO charges going on in the music industry as far as black artists too. I mean, we got the same thing with Young Thug going on. And so a lot of these RICO charges and all of that, they also kind of use portions of the Mann Act. That's what they use with R. Kelly.
Can you break down the Mann Act? Can you give us just a bit of breakdown? What you mean by the Mann Act?
All right, so the Mann Act in the United States, right, is basically this law, and I'm not going to go into every specific detail, but it deals with bringing women across country. Like, say you have a woman in New York and you bring her into New Jersey. And you do some type of lewd act with her, you rape her or any of these things, that you can be brought on charges. Also dealing with age, like the age of minors. A lot of the times that's more how it's used with, like, for instance, in certain states, minor, for instance, is like 16, and then once she's 17, and others is 18, and this and that. So you can bring women over different states, and then she's legal or things like that. They have this law, the Mann Act, that they will use in court. But it goes back to Jack Johnson. And that's because Jack Johnson was basically traveling around with all of these white women, and they didn't like it. So there's a lot of racism also in the construction of the Mann Act. You know, so yeah, as far as that.
Do you think that there's the weaponization of these women now? What does it do what does it do? Sorry, what does it do to women, to men as a whole now? Because they are weaponizing these women now. Or do you think all these charges are all facts?
Well, I like how I said, I don't want to deal with allegations because I've never been in a room with Puffy, seen him doing anything. Same thing with Bill Cosby, who they did it to. Same thing with
R. Kelly,
who they did it to. I mean, they're even throwing some other names I can't say off the top of my head. But I think what it really comes down to is there's a certain lifestyle that is promoted within the entertainment industry. And so with this lifestyle that is promoted, you have certain women, that's why they call them groupies or whatever, that are there and they just want to just be seen. They're down to do anything. And you have women that have been doing that for decades. Now there's an opportunity for those same women
to make money.
To make money. I mean, it was just this New York situation. Like that's why Diddy's case was in New York because of this act that they had that like the statute of limitations with that act was about to end. So there was like everyone who has a case, you better throw this you better put your case in now because if not, then you're not going to be able to do it. So I think it's being weaponized for a reason.
Yeah, but you said it's targeting of black men mainly.
Yeah.
How are they targeting? Are they targeting them when they want to do a specific thing? Is there something specific that this black man is trying to achieve, and then they want to break him down, or what is it?
I think it could be a mixture of both. I think a lot of the times what it is like when you have certain black people, especially black men that play the game. They play the game. They even sell their people out. There's going to be a day when their name gets called to get destroyed. All right. So I'm not going to necessarily say that Puffy is somebody that I consider to be honorable. I'm not defending him, but I also know why they do it. One of my main questions about this situation is that Puffy also he was with Revolt, and Revolt last year. They opened up the platform for reparations talk. And reparations in America, it's been this dirty word for years that it's like, now it's coming out, like reparations for black American freedmen and things like that. You have the term FBA, some people use that term. You have ADOS, and by him opening up or being a part of them opening up this platform, believe it or not, that causes a worldwide ripple effect because then you can be like, if black Americans get their reparations, what about in the Caribbean? What about in Africa? And then if black people get their reparations worldwide, what about everybody else? Because systematic white supremacy has
it's a web.
Yeah,
it's a web of destruction around
the whole world.
Yeah, but
that's what I think.
Yeah, but no. There are two things. There's something to say said here. Puffy was trying to do something with Revolt, that will empower the black people. And then I heard something about Bill Cosby.
Okay.
Trying to own a TV network. NBC. So why is this networks a major issue? Why is it when you go towards that, when you approach the issue of network, you are prone to be destroyed? Why?
Well, let me even go deeper.
Yep.
It's not only network, it's ownership.
Ownership, okay.
Because that's also one of the reasons why they've been going after all of these black record labels. Because it's ownership. If you own anything in a form of media, they have to take you down when you're black, because they're like, at any given moment, like you could be talking about like Sexy Red and Booty Poppin' and drill music and all of that, but if you own the label that is publishing all of this, in their minds, they're like, what happens if you awaken?
You can direct the narratives.
Because they look at people like Malcolm X.
Michael Jackson also, they brought him down for that.
Yeah, but the reason why I'm bringing up Malcolm X was because Malcolm X was a gangster. He was in the streets, I should say. Mm-hmm. And he automatically flipped. And I mean, his name is world renowned because of the man he became after Detroit Red. So that's why I'm saying these are things that like we have to pay attention to. It's more about the ownership that they're after.
And when you talk in terms of that ownership, like I remember I was watching some documentary whereby they were breaking down the reason why Michael Jackson, they were linking his death to ownership of the Sony music.
Yeah.
And when you own a media platform like that, whereby you could put out informations that cannot be censored, because music has a very huge cultural influence, and what is sold in that music it's filters. It's more of it gets the message across easier than whatever. So is that the reason why they brought down Michael Jackson also?
Yes, I would honestly say that. And all right. Let me cover that part. But there's one quick thing I want to say. Who do you think that children are going to listen to more? The entertainers and the musicians, or are they going to listen to the politicians?
I believe the entertainers.
Yeah, right. So that means that this is a very important part of the chessboard. Is as far as with Michael Jackson, going back to ownership. You know, Michael Jackson is somebody who Michael Jackson wasn't given a platform for a Thriller. You know, he made his own platform for that. I know personally. I used to, as a child, I used to go up to Sony Epic. My father knew some people up there. And, they was not supporting him in any way. So when he made Thriller happen, he had to get out on his own and really promote. He promoted Thriller. And that changed.
I heard he used his own money to sponsor it because they weren't able to bring it.
They weren't.
He paid for the whole stuff.
Yeah, they were not supporting the album. They didn't. They thought it was going to flop. They was like, no one really cares. You're not little Michael Jackson anymore. And who wants to hear this album? What are you talking about? They had no connection to the album. They had no idea that it was going to do what it did. And so with that album and with Michael Jackson's success, that put him into a position where he was able to get into other areas where he owned like that large percent of Sony, owning the Beatles, and so that becomes dangerous. It becomes dangerous because, like how I said, ownership. When black people own things and then we create our own narrative, you have to really understand the world we live in. All that we need is a pinhole.
I'm gonna bust it through.
Boom. That's what happens to a balloon. All you need is a pin, pop, to pop the whole balloon. So the way that they're looking at it, they're like, we can't even let that much come through the gate, So
what do you think? What do you think? Do you think Puffy is going to go down no matter what happens?
Well, I do think that Puffy is going to go down. I think the only thing that I could say that is in his corner is that they're going to need that burden of proof. They're going to need that burden of proof. If that burden of proof comes out, because like I said, there was a whole bunch of groupies there.
But why some of those girls? Why nobody's holding these ladies to a bit of to be responsible for what their actions? Why are you in so and so places at so and so time? What are you doing there? What puts you in this position to be treated this way? Because some of them we are also out there doing stuffs.
Well, because that's not what this case is about, or what any of these cases are about. What these cases are putting the black male image up as this
monster,
this monster. Because at the same time, and that's what I really also want to point out, what else is going on right now that we may not know about? Usually when things are being pushed to the public, it's because someone else is going through it. There has been some information coming out saying that that's the reason why they pushed Michael Jackson at that time out with those child molestation charges, because there was some other people that were having
the U.S. President Donald Trump had his case and is still dragging and he's not been put to jail yet. And Al Kelly is quickly in jail.
So, and even that is a political, that's just the Democrats. But so that's why I'm saying I do think it's all about how much they want him, because the thing with Bill Cosby was they actually didn't have any proof. That's why he's out. But his name has already been tarnished and ruined because at the end of the day, people were calling him Bill Cosby, and they had like these pictures of like the NBA stars dunking with his face and a pill. So that was the whole thing. The whole thing was to destroy his name, even if he was innocent, because they know if you drag somebody through the mud in the media, that's what people remember. O.J. Simpson is also. I mean, when you go into the details of the case and why they won, why Johnny Cochran was like a genius, was because the information that they brought, they could not deny it. They wanted to hang him, but they couldn't. So what they did was they hung him in the media. You know, they couldn't put him as the murderer.
But in this case with Puffy right now, we black people are supposed to take responsibility for the mess that we're putting him through, or that's going on right now.
No, I will say this much, and this goes with any situation like this. It's not that we support Puffy, but we know why they're doing it. It's important for us to know why they're attacking him right now. And that's what we focus on. We don't focus on Puffy and now have free p.diddy signs out in front of the court. We need to focus on why they're doing it, because at the end of the day, whenever they're doing something like this, it's always an attack on black people. It's not just an attack on black men, it's an attack on black people. They may single us out at certain times and be like black men, black men, black men. But the whole purpose of taking out the black men is to leave the black women and children vulnerable. You know, so in this case, I'm not saying to support Puffy, but I'm more saying that you need to realize why this is going on, you know, right here, right now. And how does this, like with what you were saying, how does this reflect on black people? Because they always want to make us out to be this boogeyman, you know, black men can't control them, their sexual urges and this and that. We are King Kong, you know. So,
well, I want to say thank you very much. This has been a very interesting topic. And you're out there, you're watching us. Please do share, like, leave a comment on this video, and tell your friends to watch the video, and also suggest what you would like us to discuss on this platform. And don't forget, we are here to pass out information. And if you find those interesting, please support us. I want to say thank you very much. I have Sonny with me here. We are moving on to the next topic. Thank you very much.